Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
JS Racing. We're in the game.
here out of turn 4.
Tries to slam the door, but they sends him right back up the racetrack.
Big moment for Boney between him and Dexter. It's Ryan Kuhn yet again out of turn number 4. He's going to win for a second time in the Misfit Touring Series. And it's all about Christian Peterson out front. 9 top 5s, 9 top 10s, 4 times he's finished runner-up. But tonight, it's the first time win here in the Touring Series.
Christian Peterson, after 17 races, finally gets it done.
The prelims, the heats, and the last chance qualifiers have been decided. And to decide the starting order for the main event, welcome everyone for RaceMRL.com. It's the MRL 500 live on V-Speed. Dual race number 1 here presented by RaceMRL.com in partnership with PGR Esports. I'm your host, Bradley Cooper, alongside Connor Horn. Duel number 1. Top 20 gonna make it to the main event, but Connor, it's no hand-me, it's no give-me. You have to be on top of your game because one incident, you could be totaled. No fast repairs here tonight.
Hey, you don't get any second chances. This is pretty much it for your event this weekend. If you want to race to the big show tomorrow, you got to get it done here. And the package pretty tough with this next-gen car, so if you're not starting near the front, you're going to have a tough time getting to the front. You have time to do it in a 40-lap race, but you got to be on your toes. You got to be aggressive. It's not the last chance qualifier, but for those drivers who might be on the outside looking in on the starting order, it might be their last chance. It is their last chance to make the race, and it's going to be very, very tough to do from the back for some drivers.
February 22nd, this racetrack opened up back in the late 50s, Daytona Beach, Florida, 2.5 miles, 31 degrees of banking, and we will see speeds well over 190 miles per hour all the way around this place. In the draft, the pack racing, we've seen it a lot here on V-Speed, but Connor, it's notorious for if you get shuffled out, that's almost as bad as an incident. If this race goes green for 40 laps and you get caught out of the draft, that could be the end of it for you as well.
And that's the problem with this package. It's so easy to lose the draft, and it's kind of what causes crashes. If you lift for a little bit of a checkup and you don't get back on the throttle that exact millisecond, you're probably going to end up losing the draft. So you're going to have so many drivers not checking up for checkups or incidents because they're too scared to lose the draft, and that's what can possibly cause incidents. You have to be kind of slam drafting in this next-gen car. That's really how you make it work. You can't really be methodical about it. You have to, if someone checks up in front of you, you got to slam them from behind and make sure they keep up speed. That's the way to race in these next-gen cars at super speedways, and we'll see if these drivers can master that in 40 laps.
Well, we have it a little unorthodox here. We actually have the grid already set here, so we're not going to take you to our normal grid, but here's a look at the inside and outside row for dual lineup number 1. You have Cameron Craighead on the inside, on the top spot. Daniel Falkingham, a name I'm familiar with from PGR, is going to start to his outside. You have Eberhardt going to start in the second row there on the left-hand side, and that's Jack Mace. It's going to start in 4th position. Justin Levine and Jackson Bice will start in row number 3. Keegan Sobilio will start in the 7th position. Christian Peterson will start outside on the front 4th row, and then your top 10 here with Jake Nipperis and John Ward in that 10th spot.
The Vicente Guerrero starts 11th. Dylan Slee Jones starts alongside him in 12th. Former RSR Real Sim Racing driver Cody Niegels, 13th position. Clayton Story, 14th. Josh Ball, 15th. Lewis Edinger will be in the 16th position. Manatsi Major, another RSR alum, starts 17th. AJ Maglio starts 18th. Justin Melikar in that 19th position. Tyler Chronister, the last driver who starts the race in the big show will start 20th. That's the cut line we'll be looking at all race long.
So there's dual race number 1, but we'll take you down track side anyway. Again, big thank you to PGR Esports, and if you'd like to go back and see how this all shaped up, you can go to their main YouTube page as we take a look at a very foggy and humid South Florida. Excuse me. It's actually in the 40s there right now today, Connor, if you can believe that. That was the high temperature, 49 degrees near Daytona today. And North Carolina, which was supposed to have a clash this weekend, or a start of, NASCAR, well, it snowed out. So the whole country is cold right now.
Yeah, it's 31, and snow's closing in on my exact position right now. So it won't be here in this session, but it's not all clear skies here, as y'all can see at the World Center of Racing. Very foggy event, very humid race. We'll see if it affects anything, see if it affects visibility for the drivers. I think it should be fine for them in the pack. So, for us, we'll try to get the best view we can. It looks like the 2006 Daytona 500. It really looks like Pocono. I see fog at a racetrack, I'm always thinking Pocono, because I went to Pocono a number of times where it was so foggy and warty you couldn't see anything. That's what this reminds me of.
And with the slight interruption, we were going to take a chance here to pull in Daniel Falkingham and Cameron Craighead, but we're just not going to have the opportunity. But there's a look at the track temperature. Ambient air, of course, it's pretty much identical with the humidity. It's transferring that temperature to the racetrack pretty quickly. But pretty light winds, partly cloudy. Maybe it'll clear up here before the end of this 40-lap event as we get set to go for dual race number 1. We also have the ability to use driver cameras. So for anyone tuning in to dual race number 1, there is a link for dual race number 1 and number 2. You can share your camera live feed as you race here tonight. So all of the drivers that are participating, we didn't have anyone join the control room here for duel number 1. I got the link out a little bit later than I would have liked to, but it is an opportunity for the main event as well tomorrow at 1 p.m. So all the drivers that make it in for that, be sure to share your cameras. It is available. MRL paid for it, so you should absolutely do that. Cameron Craighead, Daniel Falkingham, going to take him into turn 1. Pace car pulls off, and here we go for the MRL 500 dual race number 1 at Daytona. Live action on the loud pedal. Already down the backstretch, you're going to see this pack surge in and out on the outside, Connor. It's really easy to get the momentum going for these cars, but it only lasts for about a lap, and then the temperatures get so high you have to back off that rear bumper, and someone didn't. The 48, what a save of Craighead, but he's going to lose about 12 spots.
Hey, he should have lost the race car. I don't know how he didn't slam the inside walls hard as he was going towards the inside. I'm shocked we saw the pushing so aggressive on lap number 1. That's kind of how you have to make these next-gen cars work. You have to be bumper to bumper to bumper. A 5-car tandem's usually better than a 2-car tandem. It just seemed like Jack Mace, he was getting shoved himself, just could not control that push, but it was an incredible save.
Here's a look at it off the corner, and not the best angle of that, but yeah, it's still, it shows how much talent the driver of the 48 had right there. Let's take it on board.
And thankfully, he was clear of Daniel Falkingham on the inside line, or else that's taking out Falkingham and maybe others. Just Mace got a little bit on the left rear of the quarter panel, on the rear bumper, I should say. And somehow he was able to catch that and not get clipped by Falkingham. That was incredible.
Live to fight another day, and it's also a wonder. He got pinned down there on the apron through the tri-oval, and that's another place to lose control, and he was able to merge back into traffic, keep the draft. He's going to be around 23rd position. I said 12 spots lost, but now he's already going on offense. He's going 3 wide.
It's incredible how aggressive the racing is. Like I said, top 20 make it, 7 don't. So, I mean, you do have time to move through the field, but you don't want to be stuck back there because with this package, it is about track position. It's really hard to make that up. So if you have a run, you absolutely have to take it. And you're going to see that outside line surging right now from the back.
Going to take a little while to get that momentum going. The side draft's still a factor. You'll see one or two cars pop up once that momentum starts to build, and you see a slot taken there. That was I believe the 73 of Enninger that dropped down, or 67 rather, of Story that moved down to the inside. So you saw him move up, and then just as quickly as that happened, you saw him move down. It's elevator back and forth. It's just going to work all day.
And you're going to see Jack Mace try to control the lines. He saw that outside lane get a run. He decided to take the push from Christian Peterson, two very skilled drivers at the front, including Justin Levine, so make it 3. Mace knows how to get it done at this track. He's won the Bar Visuals FTF 500 in 2024, so he knows how to get it done at Daytona. He's trying to keep that track position, but Peterson wants to clean air.
Lead battle here. Peterson takes over the top spot with the 73 rather, of Enninger pushing. And I apologize if I get these numbers wrong. It's a little difficult here with the fog to see some of these numbers, but I can confirm the 23 of Peterson to the top spot. He'll drop down in front.
Enninger has the push still from Justin Mellicar, but you could see just didn't have enough of a push from behind from the 16 of Pollard back there. He's 21 in session, 16 from what I could see, and that's what kind of let that inside line get back to even with the lead on the outside for now. A little bit of a checkup on the outside, little squirrely, and 21 car Nathaniel Pollard is going to get strung out because of it.
Push to the outside. It's actually labeled as the 21 on your telemetry, the 16 on the side of that door. And Pollard left out to dry. That's no man's land, and it used to be the middle of the racetrack where you would see that happen. See Bob on the inside, the 13 down on the apron.
He made an aggressive move, Pollard did, trying to get to the middle, and he had no run. He was going 5 miles an hour slower than the driver, Cody Thorne, who he cut in front of, and it almost caused a big crash.
Pollard back up to speed now, pulls that draft at 192 miles per hour. By the time we hit the end of this backstretch, it'll be 197.
I run a league that starts their seasons at Daytona, and if this is what it's like, I'm scared to go and run that league again because this is frantic racing at the front and the back. I mean, you cannot take a break anywhere, and a lot of that is because you can lose the draft so easily, so everyone's being so aggressive trying to keep their track position right now. The bump drafting is not conservative at all right now.
And Connor, I raced this car a few Tuesdays ago, and it seemed like the runs came and went as quickly as possible. You could get a good surge, and you would come out of 1 and 2. As soon as you'd hit the backstretch, it's like you went stagnant.
Definitely seems to be that case. I mean, it just gets such big runs, but also you need to be formed up perfectly to make runs happen. In other cars, you don't really need to be so perfect as a unit in one single file line. You can still get a run if you're not, but in the next-gen car, if you're not like tight-knit bumper to bumper to bumper, you're not going to get as big of a run as you would. So these drivers are going to have to be learning a little bit. For some drivers that aren't quite used to this package, they're going to be learning for maybe 20 laps and then going even harder than they have been for the last 20.
You can see him breathing there in the second row. Craig Head moving to the outside. How about that for the 48? Just 6 laps ago, we were talking about the 48 car 7 laps ago, sideways and almost into the inside wall, and now he's back to the front row.
And the problem is, I think he got too hot, so he might have went to the outside just to try to cool the car down, and he's going to go right back where he came from. So he's had the most action today in this race for sure already.
Trying to find a slot, and everyone closes it up, so he's going to go right back to where he started, but he's proved already that he can get it done in less than 10 laps. And if I'm anybody on this outside row that saw that, I'm going to partner up in this 48 car. That's my ticket to the front, so maybe we see that 3 wide with 10 to go. I'm looking for that 48.
It's, kind of the product of the duels. If this is the 500, you're probably not going to want to work with a 48 with how good he is at kind of working the lines. Everyone's going to end up kind of working against him to make sure he doesn't win the race and they have a better chance. But in the duel, if you don't finish top 20, you're not going to make it. So someone that fast, someone that good at breaking the lines up and making lines work, you're going to want to go with him because if he makes the race, you probably will too if you work with him.
84 to the outside. It's actually Justin Levine, I believe, is labeled in the 19. So still a little bit of discrepancies here on the numbers, but we'll get that sorted for you. Justin Mellicar is going to be in second spot.
Yeah, Mellicar 10 on the ticker and 84 on the car. Justin Levine is in the right number from what we could see. But I was about to say it's calming down, but it doesn't really seem like it is. Everyone is just maxed up 110%, and the pushes out of the corner are what are concerning me, as Christian Rhodes almost got turned by Levine for that third position. The bump drafting out of the corner, we already seen it almost cause a crash out of the corner. These drivers got to be very careful to get to the bumper after they're on the exit of the corner.
Well, that Camaro notorious for the pointy front end, and it seems to turn cars easier than the counterparts with the Toyota and the Ford. I don't know if that's 100% true, but I've heard it a lot, so maybe. If you say it enough times, people believe it.
It used to be the case for sure. I'm not sure if it is right now, as Peterson had to lift hard to let Mellicar make that aggressive move to the outside. Everyone wants to lead the race. No one really wants to be a pusher. Everyone wants to be in the cleaner air right now. I don't think fuel's necessarily an issue. I wouldn't think these drivers would really have to worry about it. Doesn't seem like anyone's worrying about it right now with how hard everyone's pushing. It's just so many comers and goers right now. People from the back to the front. Some people, really not many people have stayed at the front the whole time. Jack Mace, Levine, Peterson, really some of the few that have been able to maintain this track position.
We're starting to see that outside. I was talking about that with the 48, and it looks like 3 wide here on the high line. Just to the outside of him.
You got a car drop to the apron, I think, to avoid an incident. I think it was Michael Weissman, and he's probably going to be the first. Oh, we got to check up cars on the apron. It was John Ward, and he's going to crash.
92 hard into the 71. He's into the grass. We stay green, but he has got airtime.
Oh, my goodness. Almost went over. John Ward or someone, Michael Weissman, was losing a draft, and then they crashed into turn 1. There's going to be no caution for this.
Look at this airtime for the 92.
Seen that before. That happens a lot when someone spins down there. That access road can flip you over sometimes. I couldn't quite see what put him on the apron to cause that, but it's going to take a few drivers probably out of contention if they don't get a quick yellow. Sean Rink, big damage, definitely going to be out of contention with a meatball flag.
Back this up a little bit more. This is the part where the 92 goes down on the apron. You see a car drop out of the draft there. Another car is going to drop down, and I'm not sure if that's what causes this issue.
John Ward. I think it is. John Ward drops to the apron, gets out of the way. He comes up too early, and then he loses control over the double yellow line and just right hooks it. And poor Sean Rink, there was nothing he could do, and he's going to be out of contention to make the race because of that, almost certainly.
I just want to get a slow motion of this hang time while we have it up on the screen. And I'd say that's probably a good 2-3 feet.
I'm sure he'd rather have not dropped back. I think he thought he was doing the right thing, trying to get out of contention. He just misjudged it. I think it was Cody Thorne. He came up and hit. But unfortunately, put himself out in one other. Somehow still green at the front, but it's not gotten any easier for these drivers. Jackson Bice is leading the outside line.
First time we've said Jackson Bice up at the lead, and I apologize if I'm losing my voice here today. Bitter cold. Every day for the last 2 weeks, it's been negative, no degrees or less, and it's been a breakaway for my voice as we see a breakaway for the top spot. It's not what you want to see if you're the top 2.
It is if it's the end of the race, but you can't push forever, and Jack Mace knows that. All he can do is kind of get out of line and hope someone picks him up. They're 3 wide. Someone's got to push him, but watch the slam drafting here. You can't slam too hard. Actually, some people have got to lift and be aware of that. You saw that. They didn't completely slam to 33 and a 07. If that happens on the white flag, I think they'll take that, and it'll be just between those two, but you don't want that too early.
3 by 3 from the lead back to about the 15th position. As they continue the battle for this lead, Eberhardt to the outside. The 90 going to take it over. The 39 giving him the push.
RSR driver from way back and a little closer than way back for Eberhardt. He's always had speed at the super speedways, really any other track, but really first time we've said his name at the front. He's gotten up there. Him and Daniel Falkenham have worked together a lot over the years, and they're able to get that third lane to work really for the first time tonight. As almost a big move. Craig had looked to the inside, had to lift out of it.
It moves to the outside line now, just in front of Falkingham, who had a shot at the lead. I think the 48 was just trying to leave him out to dry. It worked, kind of.
And Mace went to the outside. He tried to get to the outside of Eberhardt. Oh, contact! They door slammed for the lead. Eberhardt tried to block it, might have gotten sucked a little further up to the 07 than he wanted because of that side draft, and Jackson Bice, thankfully he wasn't on the bumper of Mace at that time, could have been a crash, but that inside line went stagnant because of that.
And somehow Mace ends up with the lead from all of that. The 90 car had surged up there and looked pretty good, but then everyone abandoned him.
This is as frantic as I've ever seen racing at Daytona. I mean, you have to. Top 20, you don't make it. The blocks are crazy. The bumps are crazy. No one is taking it easy in the top 10. You got the back half of this pack. They're like, I don't want to be a part of that, but I'll still be in the pack. But everyone else at the front is jockeying for position all the time.
And this is the cutoff line right here with Dylan Jones and Jake Napuris sitting in 20th position. And you've got Sabillo and Chronister 22nd. They're still on the end of this draft and kind of hanging off the end of it, but there's a couple cars that are just kind of left for dead right now if we don't get a caution. We're talking about the driver of the 27, Michael Wiseman, 74 on the screen, the 92 of John Ward, who hit the outside wall, and then you have damage on the 71 of Sean Rink, who has actually left the session officially, not going to make it to the main.
Oh, more door slamming. They door slam for third place. Mellicar and Craighead making a little bit of contact, side drafting, and that inside line's dying. And I think it's because the 33 has front end damage from pushing this 07 of Jack Mace so hard that inside line has completely died. They've gone backwards and it's jumbled up the front of this pack.
Still opportunity on the inside to pick up a couple positions if you can find a hole. Matazzi Major is going to move down to the bottom. That might be Mayhor. I'm not 100% new names here on V-Speed, so I apologize if I do get any wrong.
Goodness, and the outside line had so much momentum out of turn number 4, and now you can see they've kind of not been able to maintain that momentum, but they're still kind of formed up, but the inside line has got the momentum back. You see Falkingham trying to come down the cover that, couldn't quite do it in time. Jack Mace now the pusher of the 82, getting him to the front of the field for the first time.
We've got a lap car that might become a factor in this as well, just as
John
we
Ward.
exit turn 4. That's the 92 of John Ward. He's going to keep it up to the
crash.
outside. It doesn't matter. That's the 16 labeled as the 21 Pollard. Around, cautions out.
And that saves John Ward and keeps him in this thing. And that could have been a lot worse with how aggressive they were driving. But Pollard pretty much did a 360 and gets no damage out of it. Wow, there's still 20 to go.
Yep, we're halfway through this thing, and it looks like there's 5 to go.
That's what it looked like. It's 5 to go since the start. And we'll see what happened. It looked like...
Yeah. I think Pollard came down, maybe?
Looked like he did just a little bit.
On the
Looked
inside
like
as well.
Looked like they both went for the middle. 33's there. He made aggressive move to the middle on the 77, but he's in the middle. 16 trying to close that gap a little too late. 33 was there. Not sure what Jackson Bice could really do about that. But I think everyone will take that. It was only one car in that incident.
Yeah, no fast repairs here today, and pit roads, no tire sets. I mean, what do you want? You're going to stay out on the racetrack, and the track position is key here. So you're going to stay out every chance, and unless you have damage to repair, you're going to be out here on this racetrack. 16 of Pollard, lucky that he didn't really hit anything, and I think that car will be okay. But if you're John Ward, you're going to come down every chance you can. Thankfully for him, Daytona, it's pretty easy to get a couple minutes of damage repaired here under caution.
I would think so for sure. Like you said, fuel shouldn't be that much of a factor, so you're only coming down if you need to repair damage. Justin Levi, 19 car, he doesn't have damage, but he will come down the pit, and he was the furthest up really in the running order to pit from around the 11th position. And the next driver to come down was the 33, who had some front-end damage. Chris Story has some right front damage. He came down, and obviously John Ward, who's able to stay on the lead lap, that was a blessing for him. And he'll be back lead lap, but he still has a lot of damage to repair.
We'll sit here looking at all the different channels. We have a few drivers in the Discord, but mostly it's admin groups. And again, a shout out to PGR for broadcasting the heat races and the last chance qualifiers. A lot of PGR drivers are out here. Daniel Falkingham, one of those that comes to mind. I did a couple covers there for the PGR Esports in their Money series and got to learn some of their names. And I'm glad that I had a heads up because, man, how big PGR has grown over the last 2 or 3 years. Just massive growth. And then you get the partnership here with MRL, Race MRL, and Kyle Adams and the group over there, Jack Sylvia, and everyone that helps put it together. This is a great partnership. I think that, you know, with the short track side of things with MRL, and then the super speedway and the stock car, the NASCAR version of everything, they're two sides of the same coin. And really happy that V-Speed is able to sit here and flip that coin.
We're able to see the type of racing we're seeing right now as well. I mean, this shows how important this is for so many drivers to make this race. They don't want to even drop back any further than the top 5. I mean, the drivers who've been at the front have been so aggressive and making it work and able to stay up there. I mean, Jack Mace really only fell back to about the 9th position for maybe 20 seconds and was able to charge back to the front with Major in the 82. It's been a frantic start, and that yellow maybe perfectly timed for all these drivers. It's pretty much a halfway break, so everyone can kind of collect their thoughts and figure out what was working, what wasn't working, and how to get to the front, how to stay at the front, and all that stuff. So we got another half of racing to go.
And even though you could come up with a plan, you could sit here and premeditate every move you're going to make, but just think every other driver is doing the exact same thing, and nothing's going to go according to plan. It's the adaptability. Being aware of your surroundings, knowing the situation you're in, and being able to overcome that in these last 17 laps as we'll get set to go back green on lap 23. Actually be 18 to go. Nazi and Mace on the front row. Josh Ball in the 1, Falkingham in the 20. Cody Neagles and Cody Thorne for row number 3. But again, that cutoff back here with the 7. This bailed out a lot of cars that were outside of this top 20. Got them back into the draft. Got them back into a good situation. You can see one of them there on the inside. Story rather, going to be back in this. John Ward getting his damage repaired. He's coming back out on the racetrack. Still not quite up to par. It looks like still some right front fender damage, but at the very least, this prevented him from going a lap down. I think if I'm the 92, I'm going to hang back from this pack, hope there's another caution, get more of that fixed.
The problem is I'm not sure if he's going to be able to keep the draft because it's still pretty severe damage. He's also got damage on the rear of the car, like the spoiler's kind of curled up, so that might hurt his downforce and speed a little bit. So he's probably going to have to fight really hard to stay in the draft. He probably needs another yellow to really be in contention, but we'll see if the intensity can go up even another notch.
I'm sure it will, Connor. Here we go for what would be the second half of this race. Dual race number 1 back underway with Mace and Mayhort on the top spot.
Already 3 wide before we even get into turn number 1 back there. Trying to leave that charge. He's got 77.
It's chaos back here.
Keegan Sobilo kind of back there pushing. You got Melikar back there who's been at the front a lot trying to get that 3rd lane going. The 33 who's been aggressive trying to get something going back there as well.
Stuck up on the outside with the 19. That's the 84. Apologies, but I believe that outside line with the 84 is the 10 of Melikar.
Yes. Christian Peterson ended up getting up there to lead that line. Now he's got Josh Caudle behind him, who we really haven't talked about much. And now Cameron Craighead, he's kind of getting stuck in between. They almost ended up 4 wide for a moment. We reach peak chaos if they get 4.
And it looks turbulent there in the middle line. A lot of weaving back and forth, trying to find a hole. The 8's going to give the push to the back end. I believe that's Edinger that's stuck in the middle there. The 97 drops down. Outside line has got it going. Jack Mace leading it here on lap 24.
They got too many cars on the outside line. They stacked up so hard because of it. Everyone's up there, and they got all the momentum. Oh, crash!
Crash in the back. The 23's around.
Christian Peterson's in it. 78's in it. Daniel Pollard's in another one. Weissman's in it. And Cody Thorne.
And that was pretty minimal compared to what we thought it was going to be. Only 4 or 5 cars involved in this. I think you could actually add a 6th car to that, as one car did go back up the racetrack and tag a couple other cars. It was the 73.
Just shocked that hasn't happened more. The stack-ups were really bad into turn number 3 on the outside part of the racetrack, and someone on the inside kind of came up the 78, and someone had contact there to start that. Like
That was just a bad bump maybe from the 23.
Like someone in the middle came down on the right rear quarter panel, possibly. Kind of set that off a little bit with Lewis Edinger. Pearson, I mean, he had absolutely nothing to do. He got slammed in the left rear. Hopefully that suspension's okay and he didn't get hit directly in the left rear. It looked like the 17, or the 17 on the ticker, Cody Thorne, kind of came down from the middle a little bit too much, got into the left rear of the 73. I keep saying 78. It's the 73 of Lewis Edinger. Kind of hit him in the right rear, and that sent Thorne up into Peterson, and it was on from there. But a lot more cars are damaged this time.
While we're under caution here on V-Speed, it's another opportunity to thank MRL and racemrl.com for everything short track. You can visit racemrl.com. You can also check out PGR Esports and their YouTube page for all the preliminary action to set this up. And of course, subscribe to V-Speed. You'll never miss a single race. And we have the Duel race number 2 at 5 p.m. and the main event at 1 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday. Also, Race MRL and their touring series, race number 10 at Irwindale Outer. That will be at 8 p.m. here on V-Speed. It also has SF23 action in the official Open SF23 series. Road Atlanta right now, live. Just started about 9 minutes ago. Logan Threlkeld live on there. I'm your host, Bradley Cooper, alongside Connor Horn. Camera packs provided by Dougie Beard. Connor, this action here tonight, we've seen Daytona, but we haven't seen it like this. This looks like, you know, probably one of the biggest esports collaborations that we've had, but there's a lot of egos being tossed around right now.
It certainly seems like everyone's trying to win this race and not just try to make top 20. The aggression, the bump drafting, the checkups have been insane. I think a part of that is the open setup aspect that we have. I mean, you can see these cars really bottoming out in the corners. They're trimmed out for speed, not really handling, and we're kind of seeing that at, you know, kind of at work right now with how drivers are so on edge from every bump, and everyone's able to bump draft still aggressively and not really have an issue for the most part. I mean, we've had we had 2 incidents. Really only the one incident caused by a bump draft gone wrong, and the other one's kind of just mistakes here and there, but it's been frantic because of the setups, how everyone's got it trimmed out, not for handling, and everyone is on edge, but still aggressive as they can be.
1 to go signal on the racetrack on lap 27. We'll go back green here in just a moment's time. Mace and Valkingham, the 07 and the 39, labeled as a 20 on your ticker, will be the front row for this restart. I don't think we've seen the end of the action here, Connor. This is where the race gets more intense. When you approach 10 laps to go, you start to think about where can I go? And if you're 10th place on back, this is the time. This is when you have to start making moves. If you're up front, you're going to do everything to defend that, and that's where the intensity will pick up even more.
And now we still have 26 of the 27 starters on the lead lap. John Ward still repairing damage. He'll still be off pace. Pretty much everyone else has fully repaired their cars. Really no major damage for anyone else. That's going to take them out of this race. Vicente Guerrero is going to restart on that cut line in 20th. Michael Weissman lost the draft before the first yellow, got involved in the second yellow. He's going to be right on the cut line. Edinger in the 73s back there. Christian Peterson's not safe. Josh Cottle and Peterson, those are two names that you would expect to be firmly at the front, but they're not quite safe. I'd look for those two to make some pretty aggressive moves to try to get to the front.
The 48 car Craighead has proved that he can do that. Saw that in the beginning portion of this race and has recovered nicely, put himself in a great situation and an opportunity here for any one of these cars to get the victory, but it means nothing. All you have to do is make the top 20 and you make it to the main event. Duel race number 2 coming up at 5 p.m. We still have to conclude this one with 13 laps to go from Daytona. Duel race number 1 of the RaceMRL.com and the MRL 500. Who's going to take it? For Jack Mace and Daniel Falkingham, they're going to duel it out. Back underway.
He's got a good jump. He's able to come up in front of Falkingham. We'll see if Falkingham can get clear, maybe try to make a move. Not quite going to be able to, so Mace going to be on the outside. If the inside gets a run, he'll probably drop down to the inside, and here comes Justin Levine trying to get that third lane going already. 4 cars up there. Oh, big block by Mace on Falkingham. Goodness.
I don't know if Falkingham maybe came up with Mace there to block that outside line and get it going again. We saw that on the last restart where they piled a bunch of cars up there, but it created a lot of checkups, and we had that problem coming out of 4.
If they don't think they're really together as they almost made contact again. Falkingham got the run from Niegels, and he immediately took it. But big shove from the 48 to the 07 on the outside. The slam drafting getting way more aggressive. Craighead came together. Jack Mace came together with Falkingham. How did they not wreck there?
2 or 3 times I saw that 39 car door check the 07. And Jack Mace has still hung with him, but it broke the momentum. The 48 of Craighead's trying to get the 07 back to the point, and Falkingham with those door checks slowed up that outside line a couple different times.
You always hear you do want to be. Oh, Mace gets turned. He saves it. Unbelievable. How did he save that car? That might be the best save. That may be the better save of this duel, and they're not done yet.
He's going to fall back to around 12th position.
Oh,
but he still has a car to race with.
That might be better than the 48 save. He was all the way sideways heading towards the inside of the racetrack, and he's able to keep it straight, but he's lost a lot of track position.
Watch down this backstretch going into turn 3. There's a door check from the 39. And then here's the touch. I think a push gone wrong from the 48. Sends this 07 to the inside, and look at that.
Not only did he save it, he was able to keep it from really having a bad, harsh transition from the apron. He got it up in time. As the action not done yet. 48 still aggressive. He goes to the inside with no help. Here comes the Niegels machine trying to push him. Melicon back there on the middle, and you've seen those 2 lanes kind of go to the outside and middle, and that inside line surging back ahead. Vicente Guerrero's leading it. Niegels is going to try to lead that line.
Drops down to the bottom, on board with the 24 car, and there's a move down to the bottom from Falkingham. Nobody on the outside right now.
Just those split-second decisions. That's what it comes down to. If you're not good at making decisions in a split second, you're not going to finish at the front of this race. That's what it takes to be at the front of this line right now, and Falkingham's doing it perfectly as they're crashing in the back.
That's
Chris Story.
I believe, yeah, Story. I was going to say that it was the 23, but couldn't quite tell who that was in the background. Another caution here, setting us up for a late race restart.
Like Christian Rhodes got a piece of it. I think John Ward was in that. Daniel Pollard got damage from that. Happened near the back somehow. Thought it would happen more at the front.
Yeah, this is
Someone came down.
Yeah, there's
on
the
John
92. He's going to pick damage up again, and his car's probably still not 100%, but that's going to set it back down again. And I think for Story, he was just an innocent bystander of the whole situation.
Yeah, I think Chris Story tried to make a move to the middle, and because he saw the 8 had such a big run, he tried to pick that up, and he hit John Ward in the right recorder panel. So you could see right here, he sees a hole, goes for it, and he wasn't clear.
Yeah, Story did kind of come down, but it could have been a lot worse. There's a lot of cars behind that, and we still have 26 cars on this racetrack. John Rank, the only to leave the session about 19 laps ago. Chris Story is going to have some damage and be at the tail end. The cutoff mark here. Chronister in the 99. Maybe restarting in 20th. Then you have Pollard, who was involved in an incident earlier, and he's just above that cutoff mark. Josh Cottle going to restart in 21st in the 13. That's really what we're looking at here. Yeah, we have the leaders, but this is for the main event. The winner doesn't necessarily win anything other than a top spot at Daytona to start the race, but you know, that helps with maybe avoiding some of the carnage, but it's very easy to get shuffled back in 500 miles.
With only 6 drivers on track on the lead lap right now that'll miss the race, you're really just kind of trying to survive and be in the middle of the pack. If you're in the middle of the pack, chances are you'll probably make it, but that's not good enough for a lot of drivers today. Somehow through all that, Jack Mace got back to the 4th position, and not surprising, only a handful of drivers pit. Really only the drivers who had severe damage, Chris Story, John Ward, they were the only 2 to pit there. There was a few drivers, Nathaniel Pollard, he got pretty big front end damage from the checkup, but he's decided not to pit, so he'll currently be in about the 18th position, which is a big risk to take, taking on damage on a restart with 6 to go, trying to make the race.
We're going to take you side by side under caution here, but it is the RaceMRL.com 500 dual race number 1. More coverage continues live here on V-Speed in just a moment.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
JS Racing. We're in the game.
Welcome back to our coverage in the closing laps. With 6 laps to go when we go back green, Daniel Falkingham has the lead. Cody Niegels on the outside in the number 6. Green flag back underway. Hope you're enjoying tonight's coverage of Duel Race number 1.
Falkingham got a bit far out, probably more than he wanted. Guerrero's going to have a run if he wants to take it to the outside. Chooses to go with Falkingham. The outside lane just not going. The Eagles just has no momentum, but now everyone's switched up to the middle lane. The momentum's going to be in that second lane.
So many momentum swings. The third line did not develop this time. They're trying to get it going. A couple shifts to the outside. That's the 48 trying to get it going with the 33. The 07 into the wall, and they block it.
Oh. The Eagles got put in the wall there a little bit. Everyone trying to block one after another. Now Mace has run in the middle. Falkingham's going to block that huge run. Gets a huge push a little bit too far in front. Mace almost got turned again.
What a save from the 07 again. Fast hands to the 07. And how about Guerrero? We haven't said the 41's name here tonight, but he's up to the second spot.
We really haven't talked about Josh Ball either. He's in the 1 car. He's up to 3rd position. He tried to get clear of Mace to the middle, but he couldn't quite get down there. You can see Falkingham kind of cheating down a track, ready to block Mace whenever that middle line gets a run, but they're not quite able to get one yet.
The Subway 33 was sideways at one point. The 07 was sideways down on the apron. They're not done
Mace.
yet. 5 to go.
Oh, they're hitting, they're banging. They got away with it. Mace got to the bottom, and Falkingham couldn't cut down 2 lanes to block it.
He's going to block that third line. He's playing it well.
It's what you got to do. I mean, him and Jack Mace have been the best at blocking these lanes, even if it's made them come close to spinning out. Now he goes in the middle, loses all momentum. It's going to put Mace to the front. Christian Peterson has gotten all the way back to the front to take 2nd position. He's pushed Mace out maybe a little bit too far. Like we said, you could do that in the final lap, a little too early for it, and Peterson made the move to the outside, and Mace couldn't block it.
I think that was by design. The 23 knew that if he could just clear that outside line, he could get the lead away from the 07. And a dart up to the outside. Now the 07's going to get to the rear bumper. Christian Peterson going to get a push from Jack Mace. No, he doesn't want it. He's going to go down and block Ettinger. Josh Ball leads his first lap of the night.
Josh Ball up front. Now we only got about 7.5 miles to decide it. Now the focus is on those drivers kind of at the back. Michael Weissman, Nathaniel Pollard, Dylan Jones is back there. All those drivers are really the ones battling on the cut line.
Cut off mark with Pollard on the edge. Wiseman, Cronister. This battle 3 wide for the cutoff.
And this is the most infuriating thing. If you're not inside the top 20 and in one of those rows at the very back, there's nowhere to go. You could try a 4th lane. You'll probably cause a crash doing it, as Josh Ball almost got turned by Jack Mace, who made that move to the inside.
Look how quickly, in just a couple corners, he went from 20th to 17th, the 97 who we were riding around with here. Dylan Jones up ahead. Got a little bit of a cushion here.
Saw the 41 jump up to the top side. He just doesn't have a push, and that works to the advantage of the guys in the middle, the bottom 2 lines right now, as Peterson has gotten Mace clear again. He's going to go to the outside. Mace blocks it. Peterson could have went to the inside. Mace is all over the place trying to block whichever lane comes to him right now. Now you got 4 cars clear of those 2 lines.
Falkingham's in a great spot here, but he needs a car to give him a push. He doesn't have anyone working with him. Not a lot of friends right now. 41 will work. 2.5 miles left here for Duel Race number 1.
33 went down the block. You see Falkingham kind of checked up. They're squirrely at the back around those transfer spots. You can see Falkingham kind of check up back to the pack to get this run right here, but he has nowhere to go with it.
White flag presented by RaceMRL.com. Jack Mace on the top spot. I don't think I want to be leading this thing on the final lap. Look at that.
Blocks from Jack Mace, and Peterson got hung out.
And Guerrero is going to move to the outside with help from the 24 of Cody Niegels, but is it going to be enough?
Crashing.
They're going to go side by side. A transfer spot crash in the background, but it's going to be Josh Ball door to door with Jack Mace by 3/1000ths of a second.
And Nathaniel Pollard was the last driver in the top 20.
And it was separated by 0.06 of a second. Actually, between the transfer spots back here. Let's go back and look at this because there is thousandths of a second here at the cutoff.
They got 4 wide in the back. The guys who were really in the transfer spots got 4 wide out of turn 4, and it caused chaos at the transfer line. What a finish. What a win, Jack Mace. He side draft Josh Ball at the perfect time. But yeah, they got 4 wide. They end up crashing. And somewhere back there, Nathaniel Pollard gets through all this. See all these guys trying to avoid. And now he's in 20th position at this point, and there's nothing the 99 can do. Tyler Chronister, the first one out.
This is where those thousandths of a second were. This was the cutoff, the transfer spot. And Pollard crosses the start-finish line sideways across the nose to make it into the main event.
And Michael Weissman, he was in the transfer. He kind of made it 4 wide. He ends up out of it. John Ward ends up out. Josh Cottle, pretty big name, not going to make the race in the 13 car. But we'll go over the finish at the front. These top 3 were kind of where they needed to be, kind of away from the pack, and no one was really able to generate a run because they were 3 wide. Daniel Falkingham kept trying to check up and wait for that run to come, but it never did. And eventually Christian Peterson, couldn't see it because I was looking at the transfer, either goes for a move right here, right there. He went for a move, Jack Mace blocked it, and at that point he was forced out of line. And then right here, the 1 gets blocked by Mace, and then he almost gets turned by Falkingham. That could have been a big crash right there. And at this point, all Jack Mace is trying to do is force the 1 to go to the inside. If he forces him inside, he has the side draft to the line, and that's what he did right there. He cheats up the track a little bit. The 1 gets to his inside, but it's all by design, so he can kind of door slam him there, but side drafted him to the line on that sensitive right rear. The 1 tries to chase him up the track, but it's just that close.
If we can get a better angle at this with the start-finish line. But yeah, that's as close as it gets here at Daytona. We're talking about 2/1000ths of a second. That ties the record for the closest V-speed finish that we've had. And we'll take it one more time here across the start-finish line with Jack Mace and Josh Ball. Oh, man, I know I have a camera for this. I know I do. There we go.
Wild, wild finish. Falkingham, if it was Talladega, Falkingham might have the runs of a line.
And then, of course, Calamity.
Yeah, he got a wreck by past the line for good measure.
Three cautions, 13 lead changes here in dual race number 1. Jack Mace makes the win. And your top 20 final race results coming up on the screen. There's your top 10 who are going to be dictating the inside row for the main event, the MRL 500. Josh Ball, 0.02 of a second at the finish line. Daniel Falkingham, Vincent Guerrero, Cameron Craighead, the top 5. Cody Needles falls back to 6th. Keegan Sabillo will finish in 7th. Daniel Eberhardt will finish in 8th. Christian Peterson in 9th. And Justin Melikar will finish your top 10.
And all those drivers are in, all these drivers are at Jackson Bice, who had damage. A lot of this race ends up 11th. Christian Rhodes, the 8 car, he was in a crash. He ends up in 12th. Aiden Shrine, we really didn't talk about the 97 a lot. He ends up 13th. Lewis Edinger, 73, 14th. Justin Levine, 15th for him. He'll take it. Nazi Major, the 82, ends up 16th. If you just look at grid and position, he started 17th, finished 16th. It doesn't seem that chaotic, but it was. Cody Thorne, who was in one of those incidents, 17th. Dylan C. Jones barely made it in 18th. Chris Story, 19th. And Nathaniel Pollard just barely by 500ths of a second, the last driver in that 20th position.
Across the nose of the next driver with the 99 of Chronister finishing in 21st. Then you have Cottle in 22nd. Ward going to finish 23rd. Of course, Ricky, and that was the number 16 there. Julian Reese, I think, is actually, maybe I'm butchering this one. Rixie, I'll try to get these names right. We'll talk to some of these drivers. But you have Wiseman back in 25th, Napuris in 26th, and Sean Rink with an early exit, 28 laps down, rounding out your field. But it was a good one here for dual race number 1. Hope you enjoyed tonight's action. Again, you can hit the subscribe button. We'll have dual race number 2 coming up in just about an hour's time. And check out racemrl.com for everything short track. And special thanks here to PGR Esports for all the coverage of the prelims and helping put this show together in partnership with MRL. That's going to do it for coverage of dual race number 1. I'm your host, Bradley Cooper, being back here in just an hour's time with Connor Horn, and more camera packs provided by Dougie Beard for everybody at V-Speed, Adam Baker, Morgan Cook, Eddie Smith. You can go catch some live action with SF23. I believe they just finished that up. Post-race interviews happening right now. And if you're bored, you can check out more racing coverage of the previous MRL season. For the touring series, we're on race number 10. We'll have that at 8 p.m. Eastern. But that's going to do it for us so far from Florida. We'll see you in just about 45 to 50 minutes. Stay tracking, everybody.
Contact here out of turn 4.
Tries to slam the door, but they sends him right back up the racetrack.
Big moment for Boney between him and Dexter. It's Ryan Kuhn yet again out of turn number 4.